Stop. Right now, whatever you're doing, stop. I need your eyes. I need your ears. I need the next 3 minutes of your life. Because what I'm about to tell you isn't coming from me. It's coming through me. And if you scroll past this moment, you will miss the one sentence, the one truth that was sent to unlock what's been weighing on you for months. Don't skip. Don't scroll. Don't look away. Heaven just leaned in. My child, I didn't record this message for the crowd. I recorded it for you. The one sitting there right now with that pressure in your chest. That heaviness behind your eyes. That feeling you can't name, like something's coming. Something's shifting. Something's about to break open or break apart. You've been feeling it for days, haven't you? That restlessness. That sense that you're standing at the edge of something massive, but you don't know if it's a cliff or a doorway. Listen to me carefully. Sometimes that feeling isn't anxiety. Sometimes it's a tension. In the unseen realm right now, as you're watching this, there is movement around your name. Not chaos. Not confusion. Purpose. You did something recently. Something small. Something most people wouldn't even notice. But heaven noticed. And what you did, how you responded in that moment when everything in you wanted to react, to snap, to give up. It caused a pause in the spiritual realm. A holy interruption. Because you broke a pattern most people never break. Stay with me. Because in the next few minutes, I'm going to name what you did. I'm going to show you what's shifted because of it. And I'm going to tell you what's being prepared for you right now, while others are still stuck in cycles you just walked out of. But if you leave early, if you let distraction pull you away, you'll miss the very sentence that was written for this exact season of your life. Don't scroll. Don't blink. Don't let go. This isn't background noise, my beloved. This is a divine appointment, and it started the moment you clicked. So take a breath, silence the noise around you, and stay with me until the end. Because what I'm about to reveal about you, about what heaven saw, about what's coming next, you need to hear it with your whole heart. Are you ready? Then let's begin. Chosen one, let me tell you what I see. I see you smiling in public while shaking at night. I see you carrying the weight of being responsible while people around you lived reckless and got rewarded for it. I see the bills rising and the energy dropping. I see you watching your body slow down, feeling things you didn't feel 10 years ago, wondering if this is just age or if something's breaking that won't heal. I see the people you lost, some to death, some to distance, some to betrayal that cut deeper than any grave. And I see the prayers you whispered in the dark, the ones you were almost too tired to say, the ones that ended with the question you were afraid to ask out loud. God, am I still on your radar? My beloved child, let me answer that right now. You are not forgotten. You're not invisible. You're not overlooked. You're worn. And there's a difference between being weak and being worn. You're not faithless. You're tired of carrying faith alone while watching people with no faith at all walk into blessings you've been praying for. You've done everything right, and it still went wrong. You've been kind, and people still hurt you. You've been generous, and still ended up struggling. You've honored God, and still felt abandoned by heaven. And somewhere along the way, you started wondering if maybe you misunderstood the whole thing. If maybe God's promises were for other people, younger people, luckier people. People who didn't carry what you carry. But listen to me. Psalm 34:18 says, "The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit." Not close to the perfect. Not close to the loud. Close to the brokenhearted. That means proximity increases with pain. The more you've been through, the nearer He is. Isaiah 41:10 says, "Do not fear, for I am with you. I will strengthen you and help you. Not I might, not I'll try, I will." And Matthew 6 reminds us that your Father knows what you need before you ask Him. He knows about the medications. He knows about the loneliness. He knows about the bank account and the sleepless nights and the phone that doesn't ring anymore. He knows. But here's the part most people misunderstand. Your hardship wasn't proof that God left you. Sometimes, my child, it's proof you were being prepared. Because what you've been through wasn't random suffering. It was targeted training. And the reason it's been so heavy, so relentless, so unending, is because you're not being shaped for a small assignment. You're being forged for something most people will never be trusted with. Stay with me, because what I'm about to show you will change the way you see everything that's happened to you. Now listen closely, my child, because what I'm about to tell you will reframe everything you've been carrying. You've been asking God why it's been so hard, why the betrayal cut so deep, why the loss took so much, why the loneliness feels like a sentence you didn't deserve. You've been wondering if you did something wrong, if you missed a turn, if God forgot your name. But here's the truth heaven wants you to hear today. The pressure you've been under wasn't punishment, it was preparation. You see, most people react to pain the way pain expects them to. Hurt them and they hurt back. Betray them and they close off. Disappoint them and they become cynical. Their character bends to their circumstances. But you, my beloved, you did something different. In your hardest moment, when everything in you wanted to lash out, to defend yourself, to burn the bridge, and walk away bitter, you chose grace. You stayed quiet when you could have destroyed someone with your words. You forgave without getting the apology you deserved. You didn't reopen a door God already closed, even when loneliness whispered that you should. That decision, that small, quiet, invisible act of restraint, it sent shockwaves through the spiritual realm. Because heaven didn't pause because you were perfect, my child. Heaven paused because you were consistent. You stopped reacting like your trauma and started responding like your destiny, and that is rare. The Bible says in Romans chapter 12, verse 21, "Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good." You lived that verse, not in theory, in fire. Now here's what most people don't understand about wilderness seasons. Isolation isn't always abandonment. Sometimes it's insulation. Think about Moses, 40 years in the desert before he led a nation. Think about Joseph, 13 years in a pit and a prison before he ruled a kingdom. Think about David, years hiding in caves, running from a jealous king before he ever wore a crown. The wilderness wasn't rejection, it was refinement. And my child, if you've been feeling hidden, overlooked, forgotten, understand this. You weren't being ignored. You were being protected. God was covering you while he was working on something you couldn't yet see. That strange calm you've been feeling lately, the peace that doesn't match your circumstances, that's not denial, beloved. That's coverage. Philippians chapter 4, verse 7 says it like this: "The peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and minds." That peace is a sign, a signal, a heavenly fingerprint that says, "I am near." And now, because you held your posture, because you didn't collapse under the weight, because you chose grace when everything else screamed for revenge, heaven has issued a ruling. Not revenge, my child, justice. And what's coming next isn't just restoration, it's vindication. So stay with me, because I'm about to show you what heaven's about to do. In the spirit, I saw something I need you to hear. I saw it like a courtroom, not the cold, sterile kind you see on television. This was ancient, sacred, lined with light. And my child, you were standing there, not as the accused, as the witness. Your tears were evidence. Your endurance was testimony. Every silent night you carried alone, every moment you chose grace when bitterness would have been easier, every time you stayed soft when the world tried to harden you, it was all recorded. And the judge didn't shame you, he vindicated you. Do you understand what that means? It means heaven saw what people missed. Heaven documented what no one defended. Heaven weighed your heart against the accusations, and you were found faithful. Now listen closely, because what I'm about to describe is already in motion. First, exposure. The masks are slipping. The stories people told about you, the narratives they spun to make themselves look innocent, they're collapsing under the weight of truth. Luke 12:2 says, "Nothing concealed will remain hidden." And my beloved, you don't have to defend yourself anymore. The light is doing it for you. Second, reversal. What was meant to drain you is becoming the very thing that trains you. The attack that should have destroyed your confidence, it sharpened your discernment. The betrayal that should have closed your heart, it opened your eyes. Genesis 50:20, what they meant for evil, God is turning for your good, and you're already stronger because of it. Third, protection through distance. God doesn't always remove the enemy, my child. Sometimes he removes your access to them. You've noticed it, haven't you? Certain people aren't texting like they used to. Certain situations aren't pulling you in like before. That's not rejection. That's extraction. Heaven is separating you from what was never meant to stay. Fourth, return of clarity. The confusion is lifting. The fog is breaking. You're starting to see things you couldn't see before. Who's real? What matters? Where your energy actually belongs? That mental haze, that constant second-guessing, it's dissolving. Because when God clears the room, he also clears your mind. And fifth, restoration of dignity. You're done begging for seats at tables God never assigned you. You're done shrinking to make others comfortable. You're done apologizing for boundaries that were always yours to set. Your dignity isn't up for debate anymore. It's being restored, rebuilt, reinstated, and no one gets a vote. Now hear me, my beloved child. The reason you felt targeted is because you stopped being controllable. When you didn't react the way they expected, manipulators panicked. When you didn't chase, counterfeit connections collapsed. When you stayed grounded, chaos had nowhere to land. That wasn't weakness. That was power under control. And heaven noticed. But listen, justice is not the finish line. It's the doorway. Because after heaven clears the room, it fills your hands. And what's coming next, what's being placed in your life in the days ahead, you need to be ready to receive it. Stay with me, because we're not done yet. New season, upgrade, acceleration. Now listen closely, my child, because what I'm about to tell you isn't theory. It's already in motion. You didn't just survive the last season, you graduated from it. And heaven doesn't graduate people without moving them into something new. So here's what's shifting right now, in 3 layers: internal, external, and practical. First, the internal upgrade. Your nervous system is learning trust again. You're going to notice something strange in the coming days. Decisions that used to paralyze you won't anymore. You'll feel lighter when you choose, less second-guessing, less spiral, less exhausting mental rehearsal of every possible outcome. That's not confidence you manufactured, my beloved. That's peace being rebuilt in your foundation. Your body is learning that it's safe to move forward again. Second, the external alignment. The right conversations are going to come without you forcing them. The right help is going to appear sometimes quietly, sometimes suddenly, but always right on time. You won't have to beg. You won't have to perform. You won't have to manipulate or manage or convince. What belongs to you will find you. Proverbs 3 says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make your paths straight." Straight doesn't mean easy. It means clear. No more fog. No more dead ends that look like open roads. Third, provision with wisdom. God is not just sending more. He's sending management, discernment, timing. Because what good is a blessing if you don't know how to steward it? What good is an open door if you walk through it the same way you walked through the last one? Matthew 6 says, "Your Father knows what you need before you ask." He's not scrambling. He's not surprised by your bills, or your health, or your loneliness. He's been preparing provision while you were still in the wilderness. Now, here are 5 signs you're already in the shift. Write these down. 1. Attacks don't land like they used to. People try to provoke you, and it just bounces off. Words that used to wound you for weeks now slide past in hours. 2. Peace shows up in moments that don't make sense. You should be panicking, but you're not. You should be spiraling, but you're still. 3. Your discernment gets sharp. You see through people faster. You sense what's off before it even speaks. You know what deserves your energy and what doesn't. 4. Wrong connections drift away on their own. No explosion, no drama. Just a quiet, natural separation. Doors close without you having to slam them. 5. You feel it. That quiet knowing. That sense deep in your gut that something big is forming. Like a storm building on the horizon. But this time, it's not coming to destroy you. It's coming to move you. If you felt even one of those signs, my child, You're not imagining it. You're in it. But here's the warning. If you treat this new season with old habits, you'll leak what God is building. If you bring old fear into new faith, you'll sabotage what's already been released. So stay with me, because in the next few minutes, I'm going to give you the instructions, the exact steps to walk this out without falling back. Don't move. Don't scroll. This is where everything changes. So here's what happens next, my child. Not tomorrow. Not when you feel ready. Not when the storm passes. Right now. Because alignment isn't something you wait for. It's something you walk into. And I'm going to give you 3 instructions for the next 72 hours. 3 movements that will keep you anchored in what heaven just opened for you. Write these down. Speak them out loud. Let them settle into your bones. First, instruction. Do not reopen what God closed. Listen to me carefully. Stop texting what God delivered you from. Stop checking the social media of people who wounded you. Stop replaying conversations that are already over. Stop negotiating with doors that slammed shut for your protection. Ecclesiastes says, there is a time to be silent and a time to speak. This is your time to be silent. Your time to let dead things stay dead. Your time to stop giving oxygen to what God already suffocated. That relationship that drained you, it's closed. That job that broke your peace, it's closed. That pattern that kept you small, it's closed. And every time you go back to check if it's still closed, you delay what's trying to come through the door that just opened. So let it go, beloved. Let it stay gone. Trust that what left made room for what's coming. Second instruction, guard your mouth. You don't owe explanations to people committed to misunderstanding you. You don't need to defend yourself to those who've already made up their minds. You don't have to prove your worth to anyone who refuses to see it. Proverbs tells us that life and death are in the power of the tongue. And right now, my child, your words are creating your future. So stop speaking defeat. Stop rehearsing the pain. Stop announcing your fears to people who can't hold them. Your mouth is not a megaphone for your worry. It's a gate, and you get to decide what passes through. So guard it. Speak life. Speak peace. Speak alignment. Even when your circumstances haven't caught up yet. Especially then. Third instruction. Make one aligned move. Not 10. Not a complete life overhaul. One move. One phone call you've been avoiding. One budget decision you've been delaying. One doctor appointment you need to schedule. One drawer you need to clean out. One prayer you need to speak out loud. Small obedience is big faith in a coat you can actually wear. Because heaven doesn't need you to have it all figured out. Heaven needs you to take the next step. The one right in front of you. The one you already know deep down you're supposed to take. So do it today. Before doubt talks you out of it. Before fear convinces you it doesn't matter. Before exhaustion tells you to wait. One aligned move proves you're serious. And when you move, heaven moves. Now, before we go any further, I want you to do something with me right now. A 1-minute prayer practice. No performance, no pressure, just presence. Put your hand on your chest. Feel your heartbeat. Take a slow breath in. Hold it. Let it out. Now, say this out loud, even if your voice shakes. God, I give you my worry. Give me wisdom. Give me peace. Show me my next step. Now sit in silence for 20 seconds. Don't fill the space. Don't rush. Just listen. And when you're done, write down the first clear instruction you sense. The first thought that rises. The first nudge you feel. That's not random, my child. That's God answering. My child, you made it to the end, and that alone tells me something about you. You didn't just stay because you were curious. You stayed because something inside you knew this was for you. Now, listen closely, because after this moment, you're going to notice a change. Not out there first, in you. Your discernment will sharpen. Your peace will deepen. Your clarity will cut through confusion, like light through fog. And that's when doors start moving. Not because you forced them, because you finally became the person who was ready to walk through them. So here's what I need you to do. Not for me, for yourself. Type 777 inches, the comments right now. Do it as a marker, a declaration, A line in the sand that says, I will not shrink back. I will not second guess what heaven awakened in me. I will not dim my light to make others comfortable and put your city and state beneath it. Because we're going to pray as a community for real people in real places. You are not alone in this. There are others scattered across this nation, chosen ones just like you, who are waking up to the same truth, carrying the same weight, stepping into the same season. And when you type your location, you're connecting your faith to theirs. You're building a spiritual network that darkness cannot break. Now hit subscribe, but don't do it like it's just a button. Do it like you're saying, I'm staying under this covering. I'm staying aligned. I'm staying consistent with what heaven is building in me. Because there are more messages coming, more revelations, more truth that will unlock what's been sealed inside you for years. And finally, share this with one person. Just one. Someone who's been carrying the weight in silence. Someone who looks fine on the outside, but you know they're barely holding on. Someone who needs to hear that heaven hasn't forgotten them. You might be the answer to their prayer today. You might be the voice that pulls them back from the edge. Don't underestimate what God can do through your obedience. My beloved child, before you go, let me say this one more time. Heaven saw you. Heaven marked you. Heaven recorded every moment when you chose grace over bitterness, mercy over revenge, faith over fear. And now heaven is steadying you, anchoring you, preparing you for what's next. So don't move. Don't retreat. Don't apologize for the strength that's rising in you. You are not who you used to be. You crossed a line you can't go back from, and that's exactly where you're supposed to be. Stay rooted. Stay ready. Stay aligned. Because the next chapter isn't just coming. It's already here. And you, my child, are about to walk into it with a power you didn't know you carried. I'll see you in the next message. Until then, stand firm. Amen.